Hey everyone, it's Sarada and I scribble. And today I'm going to do a sort of spontaneous video because I'm going to go through some new art supplies because I am prepping for Inktober. So I want to test some of them out and also go through what other ink supplies I have. Okay, so here are what inking supplies I have so far. These are old and these are new, including that thing. And for the old ones, I have two Unipin fine liners, one in .1 and one in .3. I have a Faber-castell PITT artist pen in XS, and I have the Pentel pocket brush. And then for new stuff, I have two brown pens, and one is a brush and one is a fine liner. The brush is Sakura Pigma, and as you can see, it's brown. I mentioned in a previous video I wanted to try, or I wanted a brown liner, so I did get a brown liner as well, and this is by Staedtler. I actually haven't seen anyone using Staedtler liners, but the ink is waterproof, light fast, and document proof. So it's a pigment liner for drawing and writing. This one is an 05, and I think that's 0.5. It's a pretty big tip though, so I'm not sure what measurements. These are sort of both on the warmer side. They're warm brown colors. Then I got this, which is an Artline pigment ink liner, and this one is an 0.05, so it's super skinny. There you go. It's super thin, and it's pigment ink, water-based, but it's water-resistant. And then I got some India ink, because I want to make ink wash, and I'm going to do that in this video. But I got some black, just standard black ink, and I've never had ink before, so I'm really excited by this, and I hope it's a good one. It was on the cheap side, but then again, it's a small bottle, and I don't have any sort of knowledge of what ink should be priced. This is from a brand called Lefranc Bourgeois. Well, my French is not that good anymore. But yeah, so I am going to try this out. The sad thing about the Unipins is that I have managed to smush my 0.3, so it's really skinny now. It's like an 0.1 or even thinner, I think. So if I go Unipin 0.1, I thought I'd because I'm going to use ink wash, and I kind of want to do watercolor to it in this challenge, besides the inking. So I want to test if everything is waterproof. Yeah, you can see the 0.3 and the 0.1 are basically the same because I managed to smush the tip. I'm so angry at myself. And then we have the Faber-castell. I say Faber, I think a lot of people say Faber XS. This one is pretty thin, but I have smushed the tip on this one as well. It's super old too, so I think it's drying out, but I figured if I can use this up, I'm allowed to buy a new one. This one is kind of scratchy. And then we have the Pentel. If I remember correctly, the Pentel isn't completely waterproof, like it doesn't smear, but it bleeds. And then we have the Pigma brush pen. This one is a little bit stiffer than the Pentel, but it's a fiber. I don't know why I didn't write oh, because it's a brush pen. Pigma brush. And then this one is probably going to look horrible because I never write with the Pentel. Pentel pocket brush. It was so ugly. And then we're going for the Staedtler. I can't spell. This one is a little more orange than the Pigma. Pigment liner. Can you still see what I'm doing? You can. I'm just gonna write 05 because there isn't dots. And then we have the Artline, and this one I have to be careful with. Artline Drawing System 0.05. It's sort of like the Faber-castell XS. I should try out the India ink though. I don't know if you have to like shake the bottle or flip it around. It came in this packaging. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. There. It came in this packaging. A superb black ink that makes black line art drawings or discover the art of calligraphy. Ink specially formulated for children. Easy to apply. Use pure or diluted with water. Ink with excellent covering ability and indelible when dry. I actually don't know what that word means. Washes off with clean water. So it's not. So it's basically a student art supply. No wonder it was so cheap. I think I paid. It actually has a little dipper. I didn't think it did. I actually brought. I might actually need it anyway, but I did bring a pipette to sort of deposit it into the water brush, and I'm going to use my little compact water brush. Let's see. Ooh. So it's really black. Why don't we just take that and push it out of the way? And then we have the ink bottle, the cap, and then we have this little thing here. Okay. Oh wow, it really sucked up a lot of ink. Okay, I'm just gonna put a few drops at first. So I don't want a very dark wash, and I think it turned very dark anyway. Might not actually be that dark. This is very light. But I think I'll keep it like that because I suspect I'll be able to layer this. Yeah, so I'm just gonna grab my other my other water brush, and I'm going to go over all of the. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go over all of the ink to see which ones are waterproof and which ones are not. So Unipin. That one bleeds a little. Dry it off on a paper towel, and I'm suspecting the 03 bleeds a little too. If I'm not too rough though, I think that one works anyway. A Faber-castell does not bleed, but I knew that already. The Pentel, I can't remember actually. It bleeds a little. Yeah, it bleeds. And then the Pigma. I'm just gonna, yeah, there is water. I can't see it at all. Oh, it does bleed a little if I scrub, but if I'm careful, it'll get a pass. And the Staedtler, the yellow pigment, I think. Yeah, the yellow is definitely lifting. But it doesn't bleed that much, so I think I can use it if I'm careful. And then the Artline. This one doesn't bleed. If I scrub, it bleeds. So that's also good. And then we have the India ink, and this one I put on pretty thick, so if it bleeds, I'm not gonna be too upset about it because I think I was a little too generous. It's really good. It doesn't bleed at all. And the ink wash, but yeah, it doesn't bleed. So that's really great. The pocket brush is obviously not reliable, and the Unipins It doesn't show up that much on camera, but you can see sort of a line here and up there. So they do bleed a little, but if I'm careful, Faber-castell is totally okay. The Pigma, totally okay. And you can see a little bit of the yellow, so that one is okay, but, and the Artline lifted when I scrubbed, but otherwise it was fine. The India ink didn't bleed at all, and the ink wash I could sort of dissolve even more when I scrubbed. But I think that's because this paper is kind of cheap, so I'm sort of ripping up the paper rather than lifting the ink. So those are the art supplies I have to work with for now. I think for Inktober too, I'm going to do videos every day, but it's going to be short, like 1.5 minute videos, and since it's just something small like this, I think that will be just fine. Let me know if you're doing Inktober. I'd love to hear what you have planned. Either way, I'm done, so I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon again. Bye!